The UK recognizes this. They know they're on the weak side of the argument, and they just want to get it
You don't think
out.
India knows?
India does to some extent. Europe is the big problem. Europe
knows.
Canada knows. You think Canada knows?
I think Europe knows.
You think that Mark Carney knows? And that he's just going to...
He's worried about, I don't know, the next hurricane that he caused, because he's got a big car.
But that's your view of him, which is the point.
No,
the point is, he thinks as critically as you do of him.
I think that what they say in terms of grandstanding on TV and what they really know in their heart, I think they know that we have a legitimate gripe. A lot of places, we have a legitimate gripe.
Yeah, I mean, I think on defense, people absolutely agree. I mean, there are people in Europe that are thanking the U.S. for the so-called Germany Sputnik moment, for the realization by Germany that they've got to take more responsibility for their defense. And that opens up not just defense spending, but infrastructure spending for the one country that has massive fiscal space.
Let me ask you a different inflationary question. If all of this actually works out in our favor, I could imagine a different type of inflation issue, which is an employment problem, which is if you actually bring all the business back here, which would be a great thing in some respects, you'd also have an inflationary effect because you'd actually not have enough people for the jobs.
But it takes time. I think the major issue now in inflation is that the supply chains are getting disrupted again, and people have a recent memory of inflation. That's the problem, is they remember when we spiked at over 9%. So people's, companies in particular, agility in adjusting prices is much higher than it was a few years ago. That's a concern. So you get preemptive price increases, and we're starting to see that. That's my main worry. You don't want a second inflation shock so soon after you've had one.
Given your optimism, you think you should short gold right now?
No, I think gold has broken every correlation, and I said this last time I was here. It is seen by many central banks as a way to diversify at the margin away from the dollar, and that's going to continue.
Mohamed, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.
You're really reasonable today. I thought you were very reasonable today. We agree on a lot of things.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me in decades.
Coming up. Were you doing it because it's April? Was everything you said in April Fool's?
Good try.
Coming up, a check on the markets. We'll be right back.